Yo.
Yeah.
Y'all know what time it is. We're back with another one, man. So
let's go.
I think you found this one. You saw this one. It's the deep state blocked this investigation into the Biden crime family. So they blocked the investigation on his family. I think that's what the Hunter Biden, being on drugs and all this stuff like this, and things that Biden has done and put in, got going on in the background. They
trying to pin Trump. They steady trying to drag him.
But they turn off Biden stuff. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. No, he good. He good. Don't look at his stuff. It's all right, Hunter. Go ahead and snout that little powder over there. It's okay. You're safe.
The House Oversight Committee revealed that they have obtained thousands of financial records related to the Biden family's shady business dealings. We learned more than 20 shell companies were set up during Joe Biden's time as vice president. Wow. And at least $10 million was funneled into those companies, all from foreign sources.
Wow.
And then paid out to Biden family members. But let's go back to 2018, to a former federal prosecutor, U.S. attorney, and once upon a time, chief legal counsel for my office when I served as governor of Arkansas. His name is Bud Cummins. And he brought allegations of Biden's corruption, even bribery, to the Justice Department. But he was stonewalled and ignored. Not only that, but Bud Cummins became a target of the same DOJ that should have been investigating Joe Biden. Bud Cummins is with us tonight. Please welcome to the show for the first time, my friend Bud Cummins.
But that's what happened to the other guy. Remember?
No. What?
Okay.
Snowden? What are you talking?
No, it was another person in government. Let me go. Let's keep going.
Honestly, Bud, if someone else had told me the story that you have been through, I would have said, yeah, I think he's exaggerating that. But I've known you too long. You and I have worked together in the governor's office, and I've watched you as a U.S. attorney. And I don't believe you're making this stuff up.
And I have a knack for getting into some really weird situations.
Well, that's why you worked for me, because that was about as weird a situation as you could have ever been in. Tell me what happened. I want you to just give us, somebody brought you some stuff. Mm-hmm. You had a lot of contacts at the Justice Department from having been a U.S. attorney, and so you talked to them. What transpired that led to all this?
In essence, I was asked to convey a message to the Department of Justice that the Prosecutor General of Ukraine, a man named Litsenko, had a desire to travel to the U.S. and have a private meeting with the Attorney General, if possible, but a high-level law enforcement official, to make a presentation of evidence that was going to supported allegations of corruption at some fairly high levels of the United States government.
And this contact were people that you had some dealings with business-wise?
Tangentially, it was kind of a client, somebody that one of my clients was associated with. Yeah. And they got steered to me basically as somebody, I had former colleagues that Chief of Staff, the Attorney General, the Deputy Attorney General, and the U.S. Attorney at the Southern District of New York had all been former colleagues when I was at the Department of Justice. So I did have those kind of contacts.
Now, that's a pretty big deal. The chief prosecutor in Ukraine wants to come talk to somebody in America because he thinks that there's some serious shenanigans going on involving high-level U.S. officials. So you contact the Department of Justice through the FBI and say, hey, you guys want to meet with this dude?
I reached out to the United States Attorney in the Southern District of New York and told him, laid out the basic allegations as I understood them. Yeah. But I didn't have the evidence. I was being asked to set up a meeting for them to make a presentation of evidence. But they basically fell into two categories. One, that U.S. officials had pressured Ukrainian officials to alter records that became part of the Paul Manafort investigation, to forge his name on a document, remove other names. The other general category was the one that most people have heard a lot about lately, that Hunter Biden was on the board of this company called Burisma, which was owned by one of the known corrupt oligarchs in Ukraine, a pro-Russian oligarch.
And that's an important part here. This is not a pro-Ukrainian entity. This is a pro-Russian.
These are the Russian guys.
Pro-Putin guy.
Exactly.
In Ukraine. But they're really on the side of Russia and Putin.
Right. And that he had been taking money to try to influence corruption investigations away from this fellow named Zlovetsky. And in fact, for a time, the corruption investigations of this guy were shut down. They were reinitiated later, and he's now fled the country.
So you expect, I mean, I would expect this kind of information. It's pretty sizzling, and it involves...
If true.
Yeah, but at least somebody ought to check it out. Nothing happened from this.
No, I laid it out for them. They said they'd get back to me, and they never did. I've
never heard a thing from them.
Never have to this day. I followed up several times through email, made several suggestions. You know, well, if you don't want to do it this way, maybe we can look at it this way, and never heard anything in response to the whole exercise until a few months ago. I got a notice from Apple that notified me that in 2019, I went to the Department of Justice in 2018. In 2019, Apple got basically a search warrant and from the Department of Justice for my information. So they opened a case on me. Investigated me, but they never investigated the allegations that Hunter Biden was taking money to change.
I mean, that was all a ploy to get it off of them.
So how happened that?
Oh, no, it wasn't chance coincidence. Phone calls.
I mean, corrupt.
Phone calls. Somebody made a call over there and said, hey, I need y'all to boom, boom, boom over here. Government powers are very powerful.
Corrupt. This guy was a U.S. attorney, so he was up there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it just goes to show they ain't got no love for nobody but themselves.
The government are the type of people that will go in and have somebody hit you in a head-on car collision and make it seem like it was an accident. The government are goons. They have a lot of people in power to do goony stuff.
Okay. You got facts.
Basically, you're a whistleblower at this point. I mean, for all practical purposes, you certainly were connecting the Department of Justice with what was alleged, we don't know if it was true, but alleged some high-level corruption that involved the son of the former vice president and one-day president.
Right, allegedly, and we now know so much that it looks like it's true. But at the time, I mean, I was aware that Ukraine was an interesting and complicated place, and this could have been misinformation or something. I didn't vouch for the credibility of the information. I offered it, but as a former federal prosecutor, as a Senate confirmed United States attorney, I can't imagine somebody offering that presentation and the FBI and the Department of Justice not wanting to hear it and see what they thought about it.
And that's what I think makes this so stunning to me. You have been a U.S. attorney. You were a federal prosecutor. You were chief legal counsel in the governor's office. You've been in private. I mean, the credibility is well established. And they act like, nothing to see here. Let's move on.
And let's investigate Bud Cummins.
You were asked to get some information to the FBI. You did that. That was all ignored. But you become the target. And this is stunning to me. In 2019, there is a subpoena to Apple Corporation, and they want all of your records related to your iPhone, to your account. Wow. But you don't know that until 3 years later.
That's right. And they didn't just do it to me. They did it to Rudy Giuliani. They did it to Victoria, another attorney named Victoria Tensing. And later actually served search warrants on them, but they had already secretly gotten all their stuff. This is concerning for a number of reasons. Number one, there's really no basis to open a criminal investigation on any of us.
Yeah.
We're trying to point the government to potential wrongdoing. Number two, the fact that we didn't know about it. We're all lawyers, and you go and grab all my emails. You're grabbing all my clients' emails, and there's attorney-client privilege issues everywhere, and there's a lot of rules about that. And it appears that they might have just blown through all those rules.
And so they were just looking at every and anything you had, but they didn't tell you about it. And eventually, after 3 years, why did Apple wait 3 years to let you know?
Because the nature of those warrants and subpoenas, the government is empowered in certain situations, but they have to make an allegation that you're about to flee the country, or that you're about to destroy evidence, or I think there's some third one, but none of them applied to me.
Yeah.
So they went to a judge. They opened a case, a criminal investigation, and went to a judge and made allegations that they had a reason to be investigating me, and they went and got my information. You know, when I was a United States attorney, the Patriot Act was in play, and the government, we wanted to pass the Patriot Act because we needed these tools to fight terrorism. And the Department of Justice asked me in particular to go around and try to persuade people that it was the right thing to do, because we had a Democrat senator that was a potential swing vote in Arkansas. And I told people that they could trust us with these, tools to go do these really invasive searches and what have you. I wouldn't give that speech today because I was wrong. You can't trust the government with that much authority to look into your stuff.
What a frightening situation for us as a country. I want people to stop and understand.
Yeah.
If you, as a former federal prosecutor, are targeted, not because you have funny money going into your accounts, you just say, look, there may be some information you guys ought to look at. And instead of looking at the information, they make you the target.
Let's look at you.
It's chilling, and we don't want to live in a country where you have to wonder if someone is arrested, if they come and take your brother-in-law away off. Did he commit a crime, or did he maybe just make someone angry, or did he give a political contribution to the wrong person? We have to believe and respect law enforcement.
Yeah.
And if we lose that respect for law enforcement, if we start being suspicious of the motivation of these people that we've given these massive tools of intrusive tools.
The power to take our freedom away. That's what they have.
I really think it's an extremely serious problem for our society.
How do we fix this? Because, I honestly think that of all the things that are going on in our culture, and there's a lot of things that disturb me, but the idea that our liberty can be taken by our government because our politics don't match somebody at the Department of Justice or the FBI, that scares the daylights out of me. How do you fix that?
Well, we've got a dual system of justice. I don't think anybody can look at the Russian probe and the Mueller investigation and how they've dealt with these Hunter Biden allegations, or the Clinton Foundation, or the Hillary Clinton email server, and say that they're using the same rules of play to pursue these various investigations.
Also, everybody out there, whenever you get a chance, read Behold a Pale Horse about the different government systems. There's a lot more government systems than we know of. They don't have to tell us this. They have unlimited numbers of resources that they can fund this stuff and put it in different places around the country. You would never know this exists.
It's crazy.
It's a culture problem in the DOJ. It's a culture problem in the FBI. There are people that are extremely on the left in law enforcement at the federal level, and you have to win elections, and you have to start reorganizing those agencies. And if we can't do that, we've got some real problems in this country.
Didn't used to be that way. The FBI was always that organization we thought we could trust, and they were going to be on the up and up. And I think you've told me you think the rank and file agents out there are good people, and they're not a part of this, but their leadership is utterly corrupt.
Sure, it's the rank and file. The people that sign up to do this work are good people, and they want to do good work. It's the leadership, and it's the culture that's been created in these agencies. And it's not just the Department of Justice.
Yeah.
We see it at the Department of State. 51 CIA, intelligence professionals signed a political letter. They've weaponized and politicized the government, and it's wrong.
I want to just end by reminding people that as important as it is to have lower taxes and all those things that we talk about, quite frankly, none of that matters if the government can basically just take our liberties away from us on any given whim.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd better get people in office and elect them who will protect our fundamental liberties.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. You would have never thought. But I feel like they make these movies for a reason. when we saw that Enemy of the State, and then we saw those Jason Bourne, it's like, okay,
wait a
now
minute.
why they?
Is it just a movie to action, or is there some level of truth to
Exactly.
this? I believe there's some level of truth to it.
The man was a former U.S. attorney, and then you got the arrow is turned around on you to say that. You know what I'm saying?
That's like when Trump was saying
messed up.
the government is spying on me. Everybody like, yeah, you're just talking crazy, orange man. That's how the thinking was.
You're not
And
so orange no more.
And no, they were spying. No, that was true. They were zoomed into his stuff. What's going on in the government wise? If they feel like you're a threat to something, they'll do the stuff.
We don't know that.
And then tell you
The lady had
that
mental
and
illness.
try to make you seem crazy to saying that this is going on, and the government would never do that. Yes, they would. Yes, they would. Yeah, they would. If you're a big enough threat and you could potentially release secrets that would change this country forever, where people will lose 100% faith in the government. Oh no, they're not gonna let that get out.
Yeah, well, things are shifting. People's trust truly has changed
Absolutely.
compared to how it used to be.
No, absolutely. I agree on that. I don't mind me. I'm sitting here trying to get my. Okay. All right. So I thought that was really that really isn't, and this was before Biden's presidency. So the government has some secrets that would destroy this country if they were to get out.
So
And
he
they'll never
seems
get
to
out.
have come in, just got in office and just went all the way.
But
Yes.
Yeah.
He really did.
yeah,
I mean, it's just like, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Y'all ain't going to be able to do nothing about it. That's exactly what I've seen.
government and the government don't play, man. You remember when Snoop was out there talking about, forget Donald Trump when he was saying one of the words. You remember when that was all the thing that was going out there? When he was trying to bash Trump, and then he said he was downstairs doing some music or doing something. He said 2 knocks on the door. 2 people at his door with suits on.
Okay.
Government officials, and they said they told him that if he didn't stop making that or something, that content saying about the president, that they were going to take him. Snoop said, "Indeed, I'm sorry."
I bet.
He said literally 2 government agents came to the door and said, "We're going to stop that, we're going to take you away, and you need to delete that stuff." And that's why he never again heard
I didn't
Snoop
know
talking
that.
about F Donald Trump.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Wow.
He tells us about that story.
Did not know that.
So that just lets you know politically, I'm not saying that he was right for saying what he said, because he wasn't. And years later, we learned that the emotion and why we were saying this and that was wrong.
Yeah.
But in that same breath, that lets you know how powerful that the government is. Look how good the braid's still looking. Look at again, another 3D. How powerful the government is, and they can take you. And if the wrong person is in office, the government is at your, when you're a high level official, the government is at your backing. So I believe even to a small level, if your son was getting bullied at school, they could send somebody to go handle the bully. I believe it's that deep of a level when you're a high level government official. Their government can handle whatever your problem is for you.
I'm sure.
Yep. So that's
Well,
crazy.
I mean, it just keeps unfolding. More and more information that doesn't make him, the prime candidate for the next race.
No.
It continues to be revealed.
It is.
Please vote right.
We got to vote. Yeah, we got to vote right.
Right.
We got to vote.
The
Y'all get
right way.
Y'all got to.
You know
Y'all get.
exactly
Y'all know
what
what we
I'm
talk about.
saying.
That
Do your
right
homework,
hand,
good
that right
people.
hand.
Do your homework.
Do your homework,
Please. Dive all the way in.
or you'll be doing someone else's homework.
All right.
All right, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't take a nosedive, but comment down in the section below if you want some more.
Yeah.
See y'all next one, man. Bye.